How's it going, everyone? And welcome back to more Exodus Dominion Pokemon DnD. I am TattedSith, also Caleb, joined by American Warbird, and Azrael, our guild. Now, before we jump into our story so far, we did miss a week or so. There was a lot of conflicting matters, so we weren't able to do last week's session. However, we are back at it now. You guys, what happened the last episode?
We got to Telmont City and, went to go meet with the gym leaders so, Caleb and Isaiah could challenge them, and come to find out they're actually in the forest outside of Telmont City.
Indeed. What else?
We came across fog. We ended up having different scenarios happen. I ended up finding the gym leader, Cindy, the Queen of Spiders. And if I recall, Wolf, you got a new Pokemon. What was that one that I wanted so bad, buddy?
I caught a Mischievous who was causing the fog that separated Caleb Wolf and Isaiah from each other. If you look over by TattedSith, I have a picture of said Mischievous, and I named her Mystique.
Yes, I have heard of your dealings of trying to persuade Wolf to give you the Mischievous.
Not happening.
Apparently, those negotiations have failed.
And
in the words of Obi-Wan Kenobi, negotiations were short.
Yes, I threatened to have Ghastly rip his spirit from his body.
That did
not turn out.
What else happened?
Well, we finally got out of this fog. We ended up going back to the city. We went to the gym. We were able to challenge Cindy to a gym battle where my Oddish, Radish is his name, or her name. Can't think if it was male or female. But what ended up happening is Radish single-handedly took out a Scolipede and every other Pokemon that she was able to throw at me with just that one Pokemon.
You only used 2 Pokemon, but it was Scolipede and Galvantula. And somehow Radish prevailed. And yet you wanted to trade Radish for the Mischievous.
You need to check that Radish. Something must be wrong with that Radish.
I'm pretty sure that Radish has just got...
You just might need to check his glasses. I think there might be something wrong with them.
But yes, so Radish somehow beat 2 bug Pokemon. And you have obtained your first badge, which is the Web Badge. And I believe, Wolf, you have a picture of Cindy, correct?
Yes,
with the Web Badge and everything?
Yeah, in the last video I actually had that picture pop up, but I'll put it again in this video.
Good deal. Alright, and so we are left off with Cindy kind of just like confuggled on how she just lost to an Oddish. But we are now going to watch Caleb attempt to beat her and obtain the Web Badge for himself as well. So, if you guys are ready, we will dive back into the game.
I am ready to go.
Alright, so right now, Cindy is handing Isaiah his Web Badge, congratulating him. Still confused. Isaiah, what are you going to do now that you have achieved the Web Badge?
Oh,
well,
what? Hold on real quick. One thing we did not say. Mr. Isaiah actually got a Pokemon from Cindy.
Oh, yes, he did.
How How can we forget that? I ended up getting a Joltik, which is a small, fuzzy bug slash electrical Pokemon, and it likes jumping on shoulders. It refuses to go in its Pokeball. Um, I ended up naming that one Charlotte from, I couldn't think of anything clever, so I thought it looks like a spider, so Charlotte's Web, called it Charlotte. Not very creative, but there it is.
Fair enough.
Alright, so what are you doing, Isaiah, as you have just now received your badge?
Well, I thank her in the most respectful way, which is I extend my hand to shake her hand and say it was a good battle. Joltik is crawling off her shoulder onto her arm where I'm shaking her hand, crawling up my arm and onto my shoulder, just bouncing like and then I showed off my badge to you guys, and that was it.
Okay. She shakes your hand in return, and she then turns to Caleb. She suggests that we take a quick break for Pokemon to heal,
Mm-hmm.
and to reconvene in about 10 minutes. So, during this time, there is a nurse, not a nurse Joy, but there is a Pokemon nurse on site for challengers to go to as Cindy returns to her office in the back of the gym where no one else is allowed to go. During this time, what do you guys do? Caleb is going to think of the Pokemon that she has used and the type method that she is, which is Bug. So he's going to be planning which Pokemon he wants to use for the Pokemon battle itself. What are you guys going to do during this 10-minute little break?
Well, as far as I know, all my Pokemon are healed. Radish has already used Absorb so many times where Radish is completely healed, so I think I'm okay. I think I'm just going to go ahead and put that badge somewhere safe. So I think I'm going to hook it in the back of his jacket so that way he doesn't lose it.
Pulling the old
Um,
Ash Ketchum, huh?
It's the only thing I know. Gotta stick to the classics.
And
All right.
I am mentally questioning how Uzziah was able to pull that off by trying to use poison powder on a poison type and
You gotta bring that up.
stun spore on an electric type and still won.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Cindy is very upset that she lost to you because you had no idea what the hell you were doing during that battle, but
Right?
she's
Well, I
probably just
mean,
like,
he
dumb luck.
he is a starter, so I mean, he's never really knew how things work when it comes to that. But knowing you, my good sir, you do got a fire Pokemon, which, if I recall, bugs do not do so well against fire.
You would be correct. Um, yes, I have Natsu, my Charmander, Burnout, Roly-Poly, and Kermit the Poliwag. I think I know which two. I think I know which two Pokemon I'm going to use for this one. So, as we do our stuff and everything, about 10 minutes passes by, and she comes back out, and she goes directly towards her side of the stadium, and she looks at Caleb, and she's like, "Are you ready for your battle?" And Caleb, he like stands up and he grabs his first Pokeball in his hand and walks up to his side. And the referee stands up and he does his little like intro. He's like, the battle between gym leader Cindy of Telmont City versus Caleb of Terrical Island will now begin. Each trainer will use two Pokemon. Gym leader, please send out your Pokemon first. And she kind of grins as she raises her Pokemon. And before we start, do either of you want to guess which Pokemon she's going to use?
Uh,
Hmm.
I do have an idea. I think she's going to set off the big guns first, so I'm going to think gold how is that?
Galvantula?
Yeah, I think that's the one that she's going to pull.
I'm actually thinking Ariados.
Okay.
Or Ariados
Oh.
first.
Both of you are wrong. She's actually going to
boy.
be sending out her Vespiquen.
Really? Okay then.
Yep.
Really?
Yes.
Okay then.
Cindy has a full team of 6, so just so you know, she will not be using any of the Pokemon she used against Azrael. So she is using her Vespiquen first, and in which case Caleb will send out Burnout, the Roly-Poly.
Dang.
So, as this heads on, I will need... Let me get my thing up here real quick. Alright. So, Wolf, would you be willing to roll for Cindy's Pokemon?
Sure thing.
Alrighty. Let us roll for initiative. My dice modding out. Alright.
19.
8. So, it looks like Cindy's going to be going first. Alright, so whenever you are ready, so Cindy's Vespiquen, it will know Struggle Bug, it will know Silver Winds, Leech Life, and Fury Cutter.
Okay. Cindy will, of course, go in the same fashion as she did against Uzziah. Ladies go first, and she will command Vespiquen to use Leech Life.
Okay. Well, I just got a nat 20.
I rolled a 5.
So, with that being said, Roly-Poly's going to quickly roll out of the way and dodge, and then Caleb's going to throw out his hand, and he's going to say for Roly-Poly to use Rock Blast. 6.
8.
Alright, so Roly-Poly's Rock Blast shoots up and shoots towards Vespiquen, but Vespiquen just flies out of the way real quick, and it sets up for its attack.
Cindy will then command Vespiquen to use Fury Cutter. 5.
18. So as the Fury Cutter comes flying down on top of Roly-Poly manages to weave out of the way, and then it sets up and attempts to use a quick tackle on Vespiquen. 15.
13.
Alright, the tackle connects as Roly-Poly Burnout is rolling at full speed towards Vespiquen. It jumps up and just collides right into its chest area. That brings Vespiquen down to 4 HP. It is now Vespiquen's turn.
Cindy will then tell Vespiquen to use Struggle Bug.
Okay. 4.
3. The dice gods are against me now.
Oh. So, in a miraculous way, Vespiquen calls down a bunch of, swarms of insects to attack Roly-Poly, but Burnout, the Roly-Poly, just happens to evade again. Just going full speed and donuts around the Vespiquen as it flutters above it. At this time, Caleb has Burnouts use Rock Blast again. 5.
4.
Oh,
Wow.
the gods hate you.
One of the roly-poly then begins to harness some of the coals on its back and raises it up and hurls it at the Vesbiquin and hits the Vesbiquin from behind, knocking it forward a bit, taking the Vesbiquin down to 3 HP. Now Vesbiquin's turn.
Cindy will then go, come on, Vesperquin, you can do it. Use Leech Life.
Okay.
13.
12. So, Vesbiquin successfully takes a HP back. It's now back up to 4 HP. Roly-Poly's down to 5, or down to 4 as well. So 4 on 4. Caleb looks at Roly-Poly and tells it to use Rock Tomb. 19.
9.
So, Roly-Poly raises more of the coal around its body, and all of it just starts falling down on top of the Vesbiquin, knocking it off its flight as it falls to the ground. Vesbiquin is down to 3 HP now. Now Vesbiquin's turn.
Cindy will then command Vesperquin to use Fury Cutter.
Okay. I got the 9.
19.
Wow. Alright,
Say
so
nothing?
Vesbiquin kind of like burst out of the coal that fell on top of her and just flutters her wings towards Burnout in a very quick manner. The gust of wind just like forms like an X as it slashes towards Roly-Poly, hitting it across its body, knocking it off its wheel. Caleb quickly tells Roly-Poly or Burnout to get up real fast and use another Rock Blast. 17.
And I rolled a 9 again.
So Roly-Poly will get back up on its wheel and fire off a Rock Blast towards Vesbiquin, hitting it in the back once again, taking it down to 2 HP. Vesbiquin's turn.
Cindy will then command Vesperquin to use Leech Life to try and get another health back.
Okay.
I don't like this roll.
I got 15.
1.
So you do not get the health back. Roly-Poly decides to swerve out of the way, and as the little needle approaches it, and Caleb has it use Stealth Rock. 4.
14.
Yeah. So Vesbiquin is able to dodge the Stealth Rock, and he flies up high enough to where all the Stealth Rock doesn't. It doesn't hit. So
Cindy will then command Vesperquin to use Fury Cutter.
okay,
19.
got a 10. All right, so thank you for the sprite. So Vesbiquin goes in for another Fury Cutter. And again, the X of the wind forming, hitting Burnout on the side, taking Burnout down to 2 HP. Caleb is kind of struggling with this because he's like, oh crap, he's down to 2 HP. And he throws out his hand, tells Burnout to use Rock Tomb. 18.
14.
More coal starts falling on top of the Vesbiquin as Vesbiquin falls down to 1 HP. What will Vesbiquin do to try to pull off a win?
Cindy will tell Vesperquin to use Leech Life.
13.
1.
Vesbiquin will then again miss the Leech Life, and Roly-Poly or Burnout will take this time to kind of get underneath the Vesbiquin and just look up like a little mini cannon, and Caleb will have it use another Rock Blast. 12.
6.
Roly-Poly will look upwards and just form some coal in front of his mouth and just fire it upwards towards the Vesbiquin, knocking it from the air and down to the ground. Vesbiquin is unconscious. The referee will hold up its left hand in favor of Burnout, declaring Burnout the winner of the first round, and that Vesbiquin is unable to battle Cindy kind of gives like a weird grin as Vespiquen falls to the ground, and she holds out her Pokeball, recalling to Vespiquen, and she kind of gives it like a little girly kiss, like they usually do, like "good job," all that good stuff. And oh, that was Kira, like surprised the crap out of me.
That was our guest that was just sitting there in our call.
She surprised me. And then she's like, "Well, I guess it's time for my ace to come out." And
before we start, he is the dice gods have forsaken him. So should I go ahead and do the dice rolling next, so that way we have a little bit of a competition?
No, it's fine.
No, it's fine. It happens.
It happens. So
you should have seen the Star Wars event we had.
Yeah. Oh, so Cindy, she has her Pokeball ready, and she's like, "Here comes my ace," and she throws out her Pokeball, and out comes this big spider-looking Pokemon with, like, to describe it, most of you have probably already seen it if you've seen Cindy on the page, but the spider has long green legs with black,
I know this
like
one.
stakes at the end of it, and then its head is surrounded by a bubble. And she kind of gives like a grin. She's like, "My Araquanid has never lost a battle." And Araquanid, for most of you who don't know, is a bug and water type Pokemon, which means that this is going to suck. So Araquanid knows Water Gun, Leech Life, Poison Fang, and it knows Water Pulse.
Alright.
So, with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and roll for initiative on this one. 15.
11.
Alright. Now, reminder, Burnout has 2 HP right now.
Yes.
Potions and stuff are not allowed during gym battles and stuff. So, with that being said, Caleb takes the time that is being held there as she's like flaunting over her Araquanid. He quickly tells Burnout to use a rock. And here we go. 2.
1.
Beautiful. So, Burnout fires off a clean shot of a rock blast towards the Araquanid and hits it right in one of its legs. And it kind of like lets out like a weird scream. And now it is Araquanid's turn.
Water Pulse.
Oh, Lord.
2.
1. And as you guys know, 1 HP on a defense does double damage. So with that being said, because it's also a water type, it was super effective.
It knocks it out.
It unfortunately, Burnout was rolling in the wrong direction, and it just took the full brunt of the water pulse and is now KO'd. The ref holds up his hand in favor of the Araquanid, saying Araquanid is the winner, that really cool, he is unable to battle, and Caleb is just pulling back really fully. Burnout, and he is kind of surprised. And then he's kind of struggling because he knows what Pokemon he's using next, and it has a slight disadvantage. But he goes ahead and sends out Natsu, the Charmander, and he's just like praying to himself, like, "Lord help us." Bear in mind that Araquanid does have 4 HP. He goes ahead and tells
Araquanid has 3 because it rolled
it does
1.
have 3. It does. None of that barking. So he has Natsu go ahead and attempt to do a slash on Araquanid. 16.
15.
Oh, thank God. So Natsu will run up really fast, and its claws will like extend with energy as it just slashes upwards towards the Araquanid's head. The claws will like penetrate the bubble and just smack the Araquanid in its head as it falls backwards. And then the Araquanid would stand back up and just like let out like a weird hissing sound. What will Araquanid do?
Cindy will cheer on Araquanid and command it to use Leech Life.
17.
Two.
Beautiful. Natsu will quickly evade the leech life as it runs up close to the Araquanid again, and Caleb will command it to use another slash. 3.
12.
So the Araquanid will just like jump backwards to avoid the slash as Natsu tries to hit him in the face again, but fails obviously. Now Araquanid's turn.
Cindy will then command Araquanid to attempt another Leech Life.
Roll 10.
15.
Okay. So the leech life will connect and it'll gain another health point back. Natsu's down to 4 HP now. Natsu kind of like feels like a weird like prick in its leg as like you can see health or the aura of essence of life just being drained from Natsu's leg. Caleb then yells at Natsu to attempt to use a flamethrower attack. So Natsu will just like from taking a knee at the pose, he'll just like release like a big old burst of flame. 15.
6.
So the fire will go towards the Araquanid and just envelop it. Surprisingly enough, it does cause the water on its body to boil a bit. Kind of painful for the Araquanid. It is now Araquanid's turn.
Cindy will then tell Araquanid to use Water Gun.
12.
13.
The water gun will connect as it shoots toward the water will shoot towards Natsu, knocking it backwards. And Natsu is obviously very distraught by being covered in water. It hates water. So it is shaking it off with anger as it looks at the Araquanid. Caleb throws out his hand, tells it to use another slash, and Natsu begins to charge the Araquanid. 14.
Nat 20.
Alright, so it just blocks. It's like the Araquanid like basically just like grabs one of its legs and just slaps the crap out of Natsu, knocking it backwards. And Natsu just like lands on its legs, like one arm like on the ground, its other arm like. But it's now Araquanid's turn.
Cindy will then command Araquanid to use Water Pulse.
19.
7.
So Natsu will rush the Araquanid as the water pulse comes flying at it, and it'll just like do like a weird like dodge to the side. And as Araquanid keeps following it with its water pulse, Natsu keeps on dodging until it gets really close, and Caleb tells it to use another slash attack. 18.
13.
Alright, so the slash connects, knocking Natsu to like go in from the side and just claw at the head of the Araquanid from the side. The Araquanid begins to stumble. It's on 1 HP left. Natsu, I believe, is still on 4 or 3?
3.
3, okay. So Natsu's on 3, Araquanid's on 1. What will Araquanid do?
Cindy will then tell Araquanid to use Leech Life.
5.
15.
Alright, so now it's 2 and 2. Alright, Natsu, again, is drained a bit from a needle light move. Caleb looks at Natsu and tells it to use Fire Fang. 13.
11.
Natsu runs in and just crunches down on one of the legs of the Araquanid as it lets out another hiss. It then looks at Natsu with a glare in its eye. The Araquanid's turn.
Cindy will see the glare that Araquanid's giving Natsu and tell it to use Water Pulse. 7.
9. So, somehow, at close range, Natsu, like, does a weird like little tuck and roll underneath the Araquanid, so the water pulse misses. Caleb, hoping that this is a good opening, tells Natsu to use a slash upwards. 11.
8.
And it connects. Natsu will like look up and just drive its claws upwards into the Araquanid's stomach, and the Araquanid will like fly upwards, fall to the ground, and be unconscious. The ref will raise its hand in favor of Natsu and declare Natsu or Charmander the winner, and say that Araquanid is unable to battle, making Caleb the winner of the Pokemon badge. So with that being said, Caleb and Rolly Coley have gained experience points. Cindy will recall the Araquanid and kind of give like a clap, saying that she was very impressed that Charmander was able to beat her Araquanid, especially with a type disadvantage. And she hands over the web badge, and Caleb will graciously take the web badge and say in his head, "Ha ha ha." But he says thank you as he receives it, and she kind of suggests that they go back through the forest that they went through. Do any of you guys remember what the forest is named?
Oh, trying to on top of my head, I can't think of it.
Wolf, do you remember what the forest is named?
I think so. I think I have it in my notes.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sybil Forest.
Oh, that's what it was called. I knew it. But it's the one
so fair enough. So she suggests that we make our way back through Sybil Forest once we get our once we get things done here in Telmont City that we need to do, and says that once we get past there, we will head to a new city where another gym will be waiting for us. Let me pull up the map real quick for my own references, because I believe it is the Steel Cove, and yes, it is Steel Cove. So, but she says Sybil Forest is actually like a 2-day track, and that we will have to be very careful traveling through Sybil Forest to get to the Teal Cove. But after that, she kind of like wishes us good luck, and she sort of like retreats back to her office with her Pokemon. Caleb like recalls Natsu, and he looks to you guys and says, maybe we should head to the Pokemon Center to rest up and get ready for more traveling. Unless there's anything else you guys need to do in the city.
No, not really. Could use a nap though.
I will think for a moment and go, nope, I don't have anything else I need to do here in Telmont City. Let's head to the Pokemon Center.
Alright, so you guys head to the Pokemon Center. Once y'all get there, Caleb immediately goes to Nurse Joy and hands her the Pokeballs of Burnout and Natsu. And she takes them and goes back in the back and does what Nurse Joys usually do, which none of us know what Nurse Joys usually do. She just usually takes them back there and the lights just glow and she comes back. So, we don't know if she's a witch or what she is. Yeah, exactly. But after a while, Caleb gets his Pokemon back, and he sits there at one of the tables with you guys. What do you guys talk about?
Well, I go ahead. Sorry.
No, you go ahead. You were already starting.
Well, I was going to say was I am talking to Wolf, asking him if I could have a look at his ghost Pokemon for research, of course, because I mean, as a person that wants to be very much of an expert when it comes to ghost Pokemon, definitely would like to inspect this Pokemon Pokemon more and learn more about it.
Are you sure you're
He is
just?
hoping.
Are you sure you're not just trying to brag me into giving you Mystique?
Give it to me, or I will shake you in the shower.
That is a weird place to shank him.
We don't shower together anyway, so.
Sorry, funny shit though. No, I just want to be able to visit this such, see this Pokemon and just amazed by it in general. I'm awed about it.
I will just simply nod my head and just point down to the ground where Luna and Mystique are, because they're currently just playing with each other.
Right.
While you guys do that, Nurse Joy comes out with trays of Pokemon food and sets them down on the ground and on the table for our Pokemon. So she says, feel free to have the Pokemon come out of their Pokeballs to eat while we sit and relax. So after she does so, Caleb will take out his 3 Pokeballs and send out Natsu, Burnout, and Kermit. And they will all start eating. Will you guys do the same?
I will
think I will. Yeah.
call Pierre out, and he'll just cockily walk over towards Luna and Mystique as they're eating.
Okay. As we're doing that, the doors will open, and Cindy will actually walk back through, and she'll look at Caleb and she'll say, "Oh, I forgot. Here is your prize money for beating me," and she'll hand Caleb $200. So yay, Caleb has money.
You have
So
money now.
She's handing $200 to you?
Yep.
I'm jealous.
How much did she give you?
Not enough.
I don't remember how much she gave him.
I think she was salty at you.
Probably.
Actually, I didn't get money. I only got XP and the Pokemon.
She'll look at Azrael and she'll kind of give a scoff at him, and she's like, "Here's $100 for you."
Well, hey, thank you for the peasant money.
I think she's very salty about losing to an Oddish.
Maybe
But
too.
after that, she quickly makes her way out of the Pokemon Center and heads back towards the gym. And Caleb just kind of gives a weird grin to Azrael, like, fair enough. As the Pokemon are eating and everything, you guys are talking and everything. And Caleb, he looks to both of you guys and he says, "So, should we leave tonight or should we wait till in the morning to start making our way through Sybil Forest?" She said it was going to take at least 2 days to get through there.
If we leave early enough tonight, we may make it by the morning of 2 days from now.
It's completely up to you guys. I'm fine with whatever. He says as he's looking to his Pokemon eating. Azrael, what are your thoughts?
My thoughts are basically, I don't think I really have a thought in this matter, to be honest.
Fair enough.
No, not really. I'm not really thinking anything. Just
Well, maybe you should start using that brain more.
Yeah, Isaiah. Using poison powder on a poison type and Sunspore on an electric type.
Shut up! I made one mistake. Shut up!
One? One?
One is all it takes. I know.
Caleb kind of looks at you guys and he's like, "All right, well, let's let the Pokemon finish eating and let's get some food ourselves, and then we'll head out." After saying that, he goes ahead and orders some food for everyone. Takes about $30 away from him, but he orders food from the Pokemon Center's little restaurant inside, and We all eat, get full meals and everything. About an hour and a half passes. It's about maybe 8 o'clock at night. And we begin to head back to Sybil Forest. Takes about 30 minutes to get there. As we approach the forest, Caleb kind of looks over at Wolf and he's like, well, at least we ain't got to worry about the fog.
Unless Mystique decides to try and play a trick on us. Yeah.
That's fair. Hopefully Mystique does not want to.
I don't want to talk about the fog.
But as we get there and stuff, we all enter the forest, and it's just as we remember it, very dense, little to no light. Caleb has Natsu come out and use its tail as like kind of like a lantern of sorts. And we just start walking the trail.
Isaiah,
What do you
going
got?
chicken out this time?
Are you guys going to want to explore off trail, or should we stay on trail?
Well, I want to try to go off the trail. I mean, I feel like I want to go off the trail, to be honest, because I feel like there's more chance of encountering a Pokemon, to be honest.
So you want to go off trail?
Yeah.
All right, Wolf. What do you say?
I'm actually in agreement with him, but I'm actually shocked, especially since this short guy grabbed the tall one, shook him around, and then dropped him on the ground in the last episode.
Indeed.
You just had to say it.
Caleb kind of gives a shrug, and he's like, "All right, well, let's divert from the trail a bit. Let's just remember which way the trail is." And you guys kind of like take a right off the trail and start heading into like very dense forest area. As you do, you guys come to a clearing, and in this clearing, it's there's been signs of previous encampments and stuff. So the perfect place to set up a camp. Caleb kind of looks to you guys and he suggests that we do make camp here for the night, as it is probably about 10 o'clock now. Smart to get some rest so we can wake up early and stuff. With this being said, we need to roll to see who is going to take which watch.
And what was the roll again? D20?
I think it was a
Yes.
D20.
Yep. I got a 10.
I get a 3.
1D20. 1D20. I got 12.
Alright, so, Azrael, you get to choose. Do you want the first shift, second shift, or last shift?
You know, I'll go first.
Okay. I'll
take the
go
first shift.
second, and Brer, you will go. Alright, so with that being said, we set up a little campfire at our encampment after we set up our tents and everything. It's pretty dark now. The forest is making sounds of bug Pokemon, weird sounds of like leaves rustling and whatnot. So it's kind of spooky in the middle of the forest. But Azrael looks at the others and he's like, "I'll take the first watch." And with that being said, the other two will go to their tents and kind of pass out for a bit. While Azrael is sitting there, Azrael, go ahead and give me. Actually, we need to look at your little character sheet here, so let me pull that up. Oh, that's Sylvana. Alright, so let's see here. Go ahead and give me a. Go ahead and give me a wisdom and investigation.
That would be
Rolls.
a.
Let's see. So your wisdom is 3, and your investigation is a. Nope, You don't have any investigation, so just give me 3d10s.
3 3 10s coming right up. I got a 6, a 7, and a 1. Total is 14.
6, 7, 1, so you only got one success, but that's fine. You need one success out of those. So, as you're sitting there, you get a weird feeling of being watched. Do you have any of your Pokemon out with you right now?
There's only one right now that does not want to go in its ball, and that's Joltik.
Okay. So you and Joltik are sitting there, and Joltik kind of starts bouncing on your shoulder as it starts sensing something is like watching you guys. With this sense of being watched, what do you do?
I would honestly be saying I feel like the hairs on the back of my neck are sticking up, and I would ask Joltik if you want to go check it out and check out the area and see if there's anything out there in that general direction.
Okay. So Joltik will again start bouncing on your shoulder as if it's saying, "Sure, why not?" Because it's a very excited little thing, and it knows no. As you guys begin to stand up and everything and walk towards the rustling or the direction of the rustling,
Mm-hmm.
Joltik decides, or Charlotte decides to jump out and jump towards the brush. Now, I need you to give me a D8.
A
This is
D8.
give me 1d8.
A D8. All right, 1d8. I got a 3.
Right? I
That
need you to
is.
give me a.
That's Hoenn region, right?
That is Hoenn region. Go ahead and give me. Oh, the freaking. Go ahead and roll a D200.
A D200. Yeah, I can do that.
Yes.
I don't got a D200 on this roll thing.
You
Only
can
got a
roll
D100.
roll 2 D100s then.
Okay. 111. I have 27 and 84 and a 0.
111. Okay. So, as Joltik jumps through the brush and everything, the brush start rattling a bit and everything, and you can see Joltik's body like pop out of the brush a little bit as it's like grasping onto a very shiny pink pearl.
A what?
Is this who I think it is?
It is so Joltik is it's landed on a very pink pearl, and as it's pointed forward, you can see like two little great ears just poking out of the brush, like on each side of the pearl where the Joltik is. What do you do as you see this?
I'd be like, Joltik, what's that you're on right now? And I'm having
As
this
you
like anger. I'm like,
as you say that, it kind of like disappears back into the brush a bit, and then it like jumps out, and it just starts jumping on its little springy tail, and it is a spoink.
a
I
spoink?
thought so. I
A
thought so.
spoink?
Yes. That's spoink. It is SP. Are you trying to look it up? So SPOINK.
Found it.
Alright, yeah.
What the?
It is a psychic type. Hey, that's
I
actually
don't
pretty
want
good.
it.
Too bad. You can pass it. You can pass on it if you want.
No,
You do
I'll
not
take
have to
it.
capture it.
I mean, more psychic Pokemon could be useful.
So, as Spoink is sitting there, it's trying to shake the Joltik off its pearl because Spoink is very, very protective of its pearl, and it does not like anything touching its pearl. So it is trying to shake Joltik off. What do? You have Charlotte's your Joltik attack, or you try to help get your Charlotte off? What do you do?
I'm going to go ahead and make it attack. I'm going to
Okay.
maybe spark a little jolt on it and then just initiate battle.
Okay. So go ahead and give me a D20, and we will go for initiative.
Okay.
I got an 11.
1d20 coming right up. Got an 18.
All right, so you will go first.
Okay. Just let me just pull out my okay. So I'm going to tell my Joltik to use Bug Bite, and I shall roll a 1d20. I got a 20.
13. All right, so as Charlotte the Joltik is hanging on for dear life as it's being thrust around violently by Spoink trying to get it off its pearl, it'll kind of climb up a little bit and just give a nice little bite to the back of the head on Spoink. The Spoink will start thrusting around even more as it tries to use Psy Wave from its pearl, and the Psy Beam, not Psy Wave, Psy Beam, and the beams of psychic energy start going everywhere, and it attempts to hit the Joltik. It rolls a 1.
So, I did roll a 20, didn't I?
Did you roll a 20 for your defense?
Oh, no. I rolled a 10.
Because now it's attacking. Azrael,
What?
you gotta roll
What?
for your defense.
A 10.
Yeah.
I rolled a 10.
Okay. All right. So Joltik's attack missed. Or not Joltik, but Spoink's attack missed. As Spoink's psychic energy starts going everywhere in a Psy Beam attack, uh, Charlotte the Joltik kind of jumps off of the Spoink and lands on the ground in front of it. What do you have Charlotte do?
All right. So, next thing I want to make Charlotte do here is I want to play close to my play it safe. So, what I want to make it do is use Electro Web.
Okay.
I'm going to roll initiative. Sorry.
We got to roll
11.
initiative. You just got to roll your attack. It rolled an 8, and the attack was a success. So Joltik or Charlotte would throw out its electro web and it just envelops the Spoink as the Spoink falls to the ground, and the electro web is just encasing it and holding it to the ground. The Spoink attempts to use another Psy Beam. If it connects, it rolls a 7.
I hope it doesn't connect. It rolled a 7.
Yep.
All right. You got to give me a second. I got to roll a, what was it, D20
Mm-hmm.
or D10? Or
D20.
No, D20. My bad. I rolled a 16.
Okay. So the Psy Beam misses, and Spoink is still held to the ground by the electro web. What do you have little Charlotte do?
All right. Next thing I'm going to make Charlotte do is I'm going to ask her to use poison powder.
Okay.
And I roll a 12.
16.
Here.
So Spoink is able to break free of the electro web, and it jumps out of the way, and it then looks towards towards Charlotte, and it attempts to use bounce on Charlotte.
Hmm.
Rolls a 19.
I rolled an 18.
Alright, so Charlotte is dumbfounded as it looks up and sees a very small pig just start falling down towards it, and Spoink just like lands on top of Charlotte, bounces upwards on top of it, and Charlotte is just like laying there, kind of hurt because that's the first time Charlotte's ever been hit by anything, and it was hit by a Pokemon nonetheless, not just a move, a full-on Pokemon. So with that
He's still a
being
baby,
said,
if I recall.
yes, it is still very young. With that being said, it is now Charlotte's turn to attack. Spoink is down to 2 HP, I believe, isn't it?
I believe so.
Yes, I believe it's down 2 HP. So it is Charlotte's turn.
I'm going to use Absorb.
Okay.
And I rolled a 13.
17.
Damn,
So
I'm not lucky.
Spoink kind of like jumps back up to avoid the absorb, and it attempts to use another bounce attack. 13.
13.
Roll
Reroll.
again.
3.
2.
Oh,
All right. So as Spoink is coming down to use another bounce attack, Charlotte quickly jumps out of the way and lands behind the Pokemon. What do you have Charlotte do now?
I'm going to use another poison powder. Poison powder didn't work the first time, so I'm going to try to do it a second time and hope that it will connect.
Okay.
I rolled an 8.
Rolled in at 20.
Oh, damn.
So, the Spoink again jumps out of the way, but it doesn't go for the jump this time. It kind of goes for a full-on psychic attack. So, it rolls a 9.
I rolled a 6.
And the psychic attack hits, and Charlotte is just like stunned, kind of in a way, because all the psychic energy just hit it at one time.
She's not doing so good.
She's doing okay. It is now Charlotte's turn.
All right. I'm going to have Charlotte use Absorb. And I rolled a 15.
Charlotte, 15. Rolled some 8s. So it is now being... Well, Charlotte actually gets an HP back. So I believe Charlotte's back
Right.
up to 4 now.
Whew.
Spoink is kind of like, as energy is being sucked from it, it kind of like falls over a little bit, and it's trying to use its like little stubby hands to try to like push itself back up. And it's holding on for dear life with its ears on its pearl, so its pearl doesn't go away. Point kind of like looks up at you and attempts to use another Psybeam on your Joltik. We will see what happens. It rolls a 14.
Death gods, please be with me. 14.
Reroll.
Just know when
17.
Wolf hears about
17.
Huh?
17.
So we both rolled 17 again. So reroll.
11. Don't look at me like that.
Did you roll an 11?
Reroll again.
Oh my god.
15.
13. What is it?
15.
Ah.
So Spoink won that little dispute. The Psybeam connects and it hits Charlotte upside the head, and Charlotte kind of goes flying sideways a bit. It's only down to 3 HP though, so it's Charlotte's turn. Will it be able to knock out the Spoink unconscious?
Alright. I need another XP back, so Spoink is down to 1 more, so I would use Absorb 1 more time. And this one sealed the deal to save me. I got a 19.
18. So,
Whew.
you got lucky. It did take
My
out the
cheeks were
Spoink.
clenched.
Spoink kind of like falls over to the ground as its eyes start making like the squiggly lines and stuff. And you now have a choice. Do you wish to throw a Pokeball at it, catch it, or what will you do?
I will catch it.
Okay.
All right. Let's see here. I have to roll a what again?
D20.
D20.
Yep.
Wow. Again, I got 19. How amazing am I?
What'd you say, Bear? Or
I said I rolled again, and I ended up getting another 19.
It's actually a D10, but okay.
Oh, D10. Hold on, quick. Wait. Sorry, I
to
didn't hear that part.
catch?
Yeah.
16 for D10.
No, to catch is a D20.
Oh, D20. Okay, so yeah, 19.
Are you sure?
Yeah, because if you roll a 1 through 5, it's a fail. A 6 through 10 is a 1 shake. 11 through 15 is 2 shakes, and 16 through 20 is a successful capture.
I got it.
Where are you
Right?
seeing the D10 at?
We were using
10.
D10s in the last ones. In the last
To
videos.
catch?
Yes. I think.
We will have to go. I will
let
have
me-
to go back and like rewatch those because I'm pretty sure we used
Let-
D20.
Let me check.
If it's the D10 that we're looking for, I rolled a 16. And then the one before for D20s, I rolled another 19.
You were right. It was a D20. My bad.
Okay, I was like, well then we need to rectify what happened. But
That
okay, so
was
if you
my
rolled a
bad.
9, if you rolled a 19, then it was a successful capture, and you throw the Pokeball. Make sure you check it off on your bag that you Pokeball. But you capture the Spoink, and this is a male Spoink. So now, for those who are watching, you can submit a nickname for the Spoink if you wish to do so.
No names, I want to name it Gordy.
So yeah, after you catch the Spoink, Charlotte will gain experience points. And Charlotte kind of starts doing like a little jump again on the ground as it's pretty excited. It's won its very first Pokemon battle. And yeah, what do you do now that you've captured the Spoink?
I am going over to my Joltik and telling him he did a great job. I'm asking the Joltik if he's hurt. If he needs me to give him a berry or anything to help him with his boo-boos, basically, if he's hurt at all. If he is, I am very concerned about him because he is still a baby and I really don't want him hurt.
Oh,
You don't want the
yeah.
wrath of Wolf to come down upon you either.
What are you going to do? You can't hurt a fly.
So, Charlotte will take a berry if you have one. That way you can heal it and everything. As you return to camp, you notice Caleb is already up, sitting at the campfire, kind of waiting on you to return. And he's like, "So, how was your little stroll through the woods?"
It was okay, although wasn't happy about what was happening to Joltig.
Well, what happened to Joltik?
We encountered a wild Pokemon and, well, Joltik got hurt in the process.
Well, I mean, did you give it a berry or a potion?
Yes, I did.
Then it should
So
be
I'm trying to
fine.
write everything down while I'm doing this.
Okay. As you do that, so Azrael is sitting at the campfire, kind of like nurturing Charlotte to health. Caleb decides to take this opportunity to go for his stroll as his shift is about to begin here soon. He starts walking off with Natsu. Let me go ahead and roll to see if anything is going to happen. nothing is going to happen for Caleb. So
He has a quiet stroll.
he has a very quiet stroll. So Caleb goes around, he walks around, nothing really happens. He sees a few Pokemon, but they don't do anything, and he doesn't really do anything for them because he's just I don't know, he's just not feeling it right now, I guess. But he just takes a stroll and stuff, and he kind of like looks at his badge as he's doing so, and he just goes back to the camp, and he sits there for a bit. At that time, Azrael's already back asleep. Joltik's asleep with him and stuff, and he sits there for a few hours just watching the sky a little bit. The moon peeks through the trees a little bit here and there. Nothing really happens. He hears a few brushes and like the bushes and everything. Kind of like gets a little bit antsy, but nothing really happens from that. So overall, it was a very slow and non-eventful, like 4 hours or so. At that time, the alarm starts to go off. Wolf wakes up, comes out, and Caleb's like, "All right, it's time to go get some more sleep." So he recalls Natsu back to its Pokeball, and he goes back to bed. Now it is Wolf's turn. Wolf rolls to see if anything happens.
And what dice was that?
I believe we are doing a D10 on that.
Seven.
Okay, so that is a success. So something is going to happen. Let's see here. Alright. Alright, so as you are sitting there and everything, it is slightly morning. Some of the Pokemon are beginning to become more active as morning comes around. It's about 3 hours into your shift, and you kind of hear some squabbling going on in different directions and stuff. I'm assuming that your Nickit is out. Luna is with you, right?
Yes.
Okay. So Luna kind of has her ears perked up a bit and everything. At this moment, you can decide whether to go left or right.
Hmm. Um, I listened to the sounds and look both ways. Look down at Luna, and we sort of both shrug our shoulders, and I take the right path.
Okay. So you're not going to encounter a Pokemon trainer. You're going to encounter a Pokemon.
Okay.
Sometimes I will decide that on my own. Sometimes I'll have you roll to see what you guys encounter and stuff. But I have this one predetermined. So you will be encountering a Pokemon, but you will still roll to see which generation and stuff it'll be from. So, that being said, go ahead and give me a D8.
3. Hoenn region.
Alright. Go ahead and roll a D200.
135.
135. That's an interesting Pokemon. Okay.
I'm scared.
Alright, so as you are traveling through the brush and everything and trying to find what sounds are being made, you come across a very odd Pokemon that is kind of like crawling. So this is like a tree trunk, right? Like this Pokemon is like crawling on like the roots of the tree. And to describe this Pokemon, it's very small. It's gray. It has like weird, like little like red claws on the side. It has very buggy eyes. 2 pincers in the front.
This sounds very familiar.
Do you pull out? Do you have a Pokédex on you?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead and pull out your Pokédex.
Alright, I pull out my Pokédex to check out this Pokemon.
Alright, so as you do so, the Pokédex registers the Pokemon and says, Fossil Pokemon. And it then begins to state that Anorith.
Yes!
So you have found a Anorith.
I found a dinosaur.
Well, technically, you found a very old crustacean. But Anorith is a rock and bug type Pokemon that can learn water type moves and stuff like that. It is a fossil Pokemon, but Anorith is sitting there and it's just clawing at the bark of the tree and stuff. It's seemingly trying to get the fruit from the tree, and you're curious as to how an Anorith got so far into Civil Forest. And in which case that can be explained later on in the story, because there is a valid reason as to why one would be there. But you sit there. What do you do as you see this Anorith trying to claw the tree?
I will slowly walk up as I'm watching the Anorith, and then looking up at the berries that it's trying to get to. And, quietly try and get its attention to see if it needs help getting the berries.
So as you attempt to help the Pokemon, it kind of like gets very defensive as it looks back at you, and it's as if it's guarding the tree, like saying that the berries are its own berries and stuff. So it's like, first of all, screw you. I don't know who you are. Screw you. And it gets very defensive. I'm assuming you are backing up.
Yes, I am backing up
Okay.
to show that I mean no harm.
It kind of like glares at you, and then it turns back around and starts clawing at the tree again. What do you do?
I will call Mystique out and ask her to knock some of the berries down to the ground towards the Anorith.
Okay. The berries fall to the ground. The Anorith looks at the berries and looks up at Mystique, and it like as it's like looking up at Mystique, it just like uses its claws to like extend out and grab the berry and slowly pull it towards its mouth as it's still staring at Mystique, and it eats slowly. Go ahead and roll a d20 for me. I'm gonna roll d20 as well. 17.
15.
So the Anorith is going to attack. If you rolled higher, I was going to say that you have a chance to roll or try to capture it while. But no, the Anorith is going to attack. The Anorith is like sitting there, and as mischievous or Mystique is like sitting around, it sees it turn its back a little bit, and Anorith just like shoots like a water gun up at Mystique or whatever, and it just hits in the back of the head. It isn't going to count towards HP falling. It's just going to count as it hitting Mystique, as if it's like, screw you. What do you do?
Alright then, you ready to battle, Luna?
Alright, roll initiative. 5.
14.
Go first.
I am actually going to be a bit mean on this and tell Luna to use Beat Up for its first move.
Oh, Luna's going to jump in, huh?
Luna, right. Mystique, and Pierre are all going to jump in.
Oh my god, that's so savage. Why would you do that?
Hey, all whatever helps. 16 for Luna.
So, that it already connects, so. Luna will successfully jump in and start pummeling the Anorith with its paws and stuff. Start swatting at it and stuff. Anorith will attempt to use Scratch across the Luna's body. 4.
13.
Luna jumps back in time to dodge the Scratch. Luna's turn.
Quick attack.
Alright. 5.
17.
Alright, so Luna rushes in and starts evading and stuff, doing its little thing as it normally does. And Anorith tries to get ready, but Luna comes in from its right side and just like tackles it right inside, knocking Anorith over a bit. Anorith will try to like come back over and use a we'll try to use slash. So its little claws like extend with energy. It tries to slash at Luna. 16.
3.
So the slash connects and it just slashes Luna across the chest, sending Luna backwards a bit. Luna's
Luna.
turn.
Beat up.
8.
12.
Alright, Luna will rush back in and use beat up again, taking the Anorith down to 2 HP. It continues to bop its little head and everything, and it kind of like pokes one of Anorith's big old buggy eyes. Anorith will then try to use bubble on Luna. And it rolls a 9.
18.
So Luna kind of like dodges just a bit to get out of the bubbles away. Luna's turn.
Quick attack.
Quick attack again. 15.
1.
Alright, so Luna goes in for another quick attack, going back and forth, but Anorith kind of like digs a hole. So Luna will go in for the quick attack, but miss as Anorith dives into the ground, dig, and then it'll come back out and attempt to hit Luna, but it rolls a 1.
10.
So Luna will jump up in time to dodge the dig attack. It is now Luna's turn.
I will tell her to use quick attack.
Okay.
13.
4. So Luna will, from the air, Luna will like dive down and like splits into like different areas, and then it'll just like come up right above Anorith's head and just do its little headbutt maneuver that it normally does. Anorith will kind of like stumble backwards. It's on 1 HP now. Anorith will attempt to use another bubble. Rolls a 6.
10.
Luna evades the attack and gets ready to hopefully end the Anorith.
Use beat up.
Okay.
5.
5. Reroll.
19.
17. Alright, so Luna goes in and pummels the other eyeball of the Anorith, knocking the Anorith backwards and unconscious. What will you do now?
I'm going to catch Anorith.
You seemed pretty excited about it.
Yes.
Alright, so go ahead and let's get the capturing sequence going.
I rolled a 17.
That's a capture. Alright, so you throw the Pokeball at the Anorith, and its energy just goes right back into the Pokeball. It rolls 3 times. Goes boom! You capture the Anorith. What do you do?
I will pick up Anorith's Pokeball, then look up at the berries that Anorith was trying to get earlier, and have Mystique pick some and add them and give them to me. And to give to Anorith.
Fair enough. You do that, and the Pokemon are happy about it. You probably spend like a few minutes there just like enjoying the fact that you just caught an Anorith. Like I said, you seem pretty happy about capturing it just outside of character. So, you make your way back to camp, and everyone's still asleep. Probably about an hour or so passes before Azrael emerges from his tent, and then quickly after, probably about a few minutes after, Caleb will emerge from his. We're actually going to end it there though, because I've got to get going on something.
Right.
But this actually leaves a good opportunity for us to have a full episode within the forest. There are 2 new Pokemon that have joined y'all's teams. Well, 1 each. So that'll be a good little conversation starter next time. I do have a plan for a certain team to make its appearance in the next episode. Yeah, there's actually a bit I have planned for the next episode that is going to kind of sway how some story goes. So look forward to that.
Sweet.
Yeah. So with that being said, is there anything else you guys want to talk about before we end the session?
Let me think. Is there anything?
Also, by the way, Azrael, I used a Spoink and a Grumpig in one of my earliest Let's Plays of, I think it was Sapphire when I was playing back in the day on the Game Boy. I think it was Sapphire, and I loved that Pokemon. Mostly because I never caught a Ralts. Oh. Boink was my psychic type. Until I realized you could capture Ralts like in the beginning rounds.
Yeah.
I don't know how to feel about that.
What?
Just
I liked it.
How you enjoy a Spoink. I mean, Spoink
It's a
sounds
psychic type.
It's a psychic type.
They're strong.
like
Especially when it turns into Grumpig, it becomes like a little tank.
Spork, though. Like Spork, Spoink. Not very
It's
imaginative.
Spoink because it's... Well, you can blame Nintendo for that. That's not me.
You can blame the
Sure,
Pokemon
Nintendo.
Company.
I don't think it's Nintendo. I think it's a guy that has a Japanese name, I think.
Yeah.
I think. Is it Chinese or Japanese?
It's Japanese.
Alright, I was going to say Japanese, Chinese, Cantonese, Vietnamese. I don't know.
Nope. Anywho. Alright, well, Wolf, you have anything? While he's sitting there aggravated at the fact that he caught a pretty good Pokemon.
I'll know it when I find more about it.
I am excited for when Anorith evolves. That's all I'm going to say.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Alright, well, with that being said, American Warbird, go ahead and close us out.
Alright, everyone, that's the end of this session of Pokemon D&D. Like the video if you haven't already. Hit the subscribe button, smack the notification bell. That way when I update my channel with new videos, you get notified. And leave a comment on what Isaiah and Wolf will name Anorith and Spoink. And see you in the next video. Peace.